This song is a lot longer than I remember it, chat. Hello, 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 hello. We are just waiting for a few friends to join us. How's everyone doing? I know, I'm sure the stream title might have scared you. I promise it's gonna be nothing bad. Vibes. True. I'll let you in on a little secret, chat. I have not prepared anything to say for this stream. I'm just winging it. I literally have not written anything. Nothing is pre-written. I'm literally doing this all from scratch. Well, I have some resources I'm going to be reading from, but most of it is improvised. I think we can move to. Oh, it's gonna say I'm playing Minecraft, isn't it? I forgot to change that. Okay. There we go. We are not playing Minecraft today. Sorry, folks. No Minecraft today. I think 7 hours is enough. If you missed the 7-hour stream yesterday, it's on the VOD's channel already. So check that out if you missed it. I think we're good to start. I was kind of... Hold on. I wanted to see when Nick showed up. I need my mod. I think we'll be fine without him for a little bit. Okay, chat, VOD's channel, everyone in between. I'm so excited to show you this. I made a new scene just for this stream. I'm just praying it works. I'm so excited about it. I know I don't sound excited. It's because I'm running off not that much sleep. Can you hear the train? There it goes. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's really loud for me. We're really just vibing today, for the most part. No, we're not vibing. I have things to talk about. Dude, get some sleep then. Maybe. I think tonight will be the night where I get some sleep for once. I'm gonna mute till the train passes. It's just really loud and I don't want to trigger anyone, so we're just waiting for the train to pass. It's still going. Okay, I think it's gone. I also closed my window, so that should help. But yeah, so I actually made a OBS scene just for this stream, and I'm really excited about it. I think you can tell. So I'm gonna show it to you now. I'm really hoping it works. Look at it. Look at it go. I'm so happy with it. This silly freaking audio visualizer took so long to set up. But I felt like this was a good compromise since I don't have a face cam. Hi Nick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got a little chat box there on top of it, and also alerts will go through. Like I can show you oh, nope, that's not what I want to do. I can show you a test. Just so you can see it. So that's not a real dono, just so you know. If it wasn't obvious. So they'll show up there, which is really cool. But yeah, I don't like that it's green, but it's okay. we work with what we've got. But yeah, so today I wanted to do something a lot different than normal. Because well, I'm a little late because it is June 22nd, and what I'm talking about is about the month of June. But it's okay because I think any time, I don't think that awareness should be pigeonholed to a single month, especially with what I want to talk about. And I will say to anyone to please read the content warning in the title of the stream. I don't think they're very well, I don't want to say that. If any of those topics are uncomfortable to you or not something you want to hear about, then there's no offense, but I want to spread some awareness about something that I'm very passionate about. Oh, that's so loud. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Let me go back to the music. Sorry, this song is just really good. But yeah, so if you haven't guessed it already, today I'm going to be talking about Angioma Awareness Month. And I'm going to give a little background about what all of that means, and then I also thought it would be a good opportunity to share with you guys my experience with it. It's something very personal to me, and for those of you who know me in real life, it's something that impacts my everyday today. And it's not I don't know how to say this, or I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say. It's a very personal matter, but I don't have a problem talking about it because it's something that I think is important, and part of awareness is sharing our experience and our stories as current or former patients. So I am fully aware that I don't have to be doing this. I don't have to stream this, but I wanted to, and it's something that's been bugging me all month, is being able to talk about this and share my story. And even if it just touches one person, if one person is like, what are you talking about? Then that's fine. Like, I don't expect many people to really understand maybe why I'm talking about this, but if I could just touch one person and have them see the world a little bit differently and see just how their day-to-day life can be changed, then I'm fine with that. I'm really would be satisfied with that. Well, not satisfied, but I'd be okay with it. So yeah, I will be talking about medical stuff, and specifically major surgery and brain tumors. Nothing cancerous, which is the whole point of what this month is about. So to start things off, I just wanted to give a little background about the word angioma, what it means to you, other words for it. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading the definition from this organization called Angioma Alliance. I'm actually going to link their website in chat. It's a great community. I think that worked. Yep. Let me actually read their mission statement. If I can find it. Oh, there we go. So Angioma Alliance. Hold on. Is a non-profit charitable organization created by people affected by cavernous angioma. That was a lot, so we're just gonna take it little by little. So I've linked their website in the chat. So basically what their mission says is, it is our mission to inform, support, and mobilize those affected by cavernous angioma and derive research for better treatments and a cure. We do this by developing and executing strategic, creative, high-return interventions as a model for rare diseases. And I feel like most viewers are probably stuck on what the hell is a cavernous angioma, and they actually have an Instagram page. I'll put the handle in chat so you can look it up if you want. And they have a post. It's the third post down if you look at their website. And the picture is, what is a cavernous angioma? So I'm just going to read you what they've written about it. They wrote, cavernous angiomas, also known as cavernous malformations and cavernomas, are made of abnormal blood vessels. They are not cancerous. Cavernous angiomas are made of the smallest blood vessels called capillaries. They resemble mulberries and have very thin walls compared with other blood vessels. Blood moves through them very slowly. The thin vessel walls can be leaky and can allow blood into the surrounding brain or spinal cord tissue. We believe about 1 in every 500 people have a cavernous angioma, but most people never have symptoms. Of the people who have a cavernous angioma, we believe many will never have a systematic hemorrhage. I think I have dyslexia today. The rarest place, I don't really want to talk about that. Okay. Basically, in layman terms, cavernous angioma is a small berry-sized tumor that forms in your brain or in your spinal cord when you're born. About 1 in 500 people have one. And what's frustrating about it is it's completely different for everyone. Everyone who has it, it's a completely different story. And the thing about them is 1 in every 500 people have them, but very few of the people that are born with it have any problems with it. So their little slogan is Angioma Alliance because brains shouldn't bleed. So basically what happens is 1 in every 500 people are born with this little tiny blood vessel that just forms abnormally in their brain or spinal cord. But sometimes those little blood vessels burst or leak blood into the brain, which is not something that should happen to a brain. I think we can all figure that out. And those leaks can have a variety of symptoms. It's the Able sisters for me. It depends. So some people have seizures as a very common symptom of them, as well as strokes, or depending on where the tumor is, it could also be affecting those parts of the brain, which I'll get into my personal experience with it in a bit. But basically, it has different effects for different people, and it's a very, I don't want to say it's an unprecise science, but it's just there's a lot of variety with it. So it's really hard as a doctor, I imagine, and as a patient, because there's no answer. I feel like with I don't know, but I feel like with more common diseases, or whatever you want to call it, there's like an outline. It will say, okay, you'll have these symptoms, but once you have surgery, they'll go away, or this will no longer persist, etc., etc. And with Angioma Alliance, with cavernous angiomas, or cavernous malformation, it's different for everyone. So for me, for what I had specifically, it's very common to have seizures, but I was one of the lucky people to not have seizures. So it's completely different for everyone. So I was going to talk about this is what happens when I don't plan the stream beforehand. So that's basically an overview of what a cavernous angioma is. And before I get into my story, I just wanted to sort of say, okay, why am I telling you this? Why am I, like, what can you do, etc. Like that kind of perspective, I guess, or activity. I don't know what to call it. I'm like totally blanking. I'm decided to stream this because I feel like most people that are in chat right now, and in general in everyday life, have never heard of this before. And I feel like they should, especially when it's so common and just nobody knows about it. And I realize how I understand why it's not talked about, I suppose. But as someone affected by this personally, it felt right during Angioma Awareness Month to talk about it, because if there was ever a better time, it would be now. Because there are things that people can do, and I believe that's true of most social issues, that even if you can't donate, or you can't volunteer, or whatever is stopping you from feeling like you can do something, I think educating yourself and taking time to understand an issue or a cause or a movement or whatever is enough. At a certain level, if you, like, for me, I'm unable to donate to certain causes, so what I do is I take time to educate myself on those movements, and I share, like, petitions, and find out about what volunteer opportunities I or someone I know might have. So then when that conversation comes up, I can say, oh, well, you can do this, this, and this. So really, I just wanted to spread awareness and education on it, above everything else. I think that's what's most important today. So too long didn't read. Some people are born with brain tumors and don't even know it. And they're just totally genetic. It's just how you were born. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you broken or anything like that. It just means that when your blood vessels were forming, they did a little too much partying and created a little cavernoma, which is the little nickname for it, I guess. So if you click on the website link, it should take you to the main page. And there's many things you can do. You can read. There's also, if you scroll down, it says get involved. I believe they're having a fundraising event. Yes, they have a National Angioma Alliance event to celebrate together for a cure. It's on their website. It's like all over. But they're having a cure celebration fundraising event on August 29th. So just something to look out for if you're listening and you think this is interesting or you want to do something about it. I've put the website in chat. And if it doesn't show up for you, it's just angioma.org. Okay. Time for story time. All of my little chicks, come, sit. So, when I was in 7th grade, I was 13 years old. It was a March, so I was 13. And I was a lacrosse player. And for those of you who know me now that know I don't do sports, that might shock you. But I was actually very athletic and sporty as a kid. And I think this is the first time I've actually sat down and explained to someone why I'm not that way anymore. And that it wasn't really a choice. When I'm pausing, it's because I'm drinking water. Everyone hydrate. But so I was a lacrosse player and I was actually quite good. I'm not even just objectively, I worked really hard and it paid off. I was extremely passionate about it too. I thought I was going to do it through high school and maybe through college, and I was really, really interested in it and I really, really enjoyed it. And I had a practice in March. And we had just gotten a new coach and I didn't really like her very much. We just weren't really vibing, and she was kind of mean. Definitely one of those, you need to work really hard now, and we're gonna act like this is professional lacrosse, even though it was a middle school camp team. But she was quite mean, and I remember just not really vibing with her. And the other thing about me was I had a very, very strong immune system growing up. I got sick once and it was from dehydration. I literally never got the cold or never got the flu. I never got a cold. I maybe was sick once or twice. Once from dehydration and then once just I think there was a really, really bad flu year. But besides that, I pretty much never got sick. And I mean, I had allergies, but I mean, that's not relevant. I never got sick. And one day, I woke up and I was feeling really, really nauseous. I'm actually, hold on. I have to edit the content warning. that's probably just gonna make nobody want to listen. But it's just what happens. It's part of it. I kind of have to talk about it. The story involves a lot of mentions of throwing up, so I'm gonna try to keep it as vague as possible for my sake and for yours. So I woke up one day and I was feeling really sick, and I threw up, and I was really confused because I literally had perfect attendance in middle school pretty much. And I was really confused because I literally had never just woken up and gotten sick. So we thought it was maybe food poisoning for a little bit, but I was feeling horrible all day. And my mom was like really confused, and I was really confused. We thought maybe it was a stomach bug. We called the doctor, and they were like, it's probably just dehydration. And we were like, well, that can't be true because, like, I drink a lot of water. Like, I'm a water fan, okay? Like, I drink so much water. When I get chat rewards, I don't know that I'll put hydrate because I already drink so much water. That's why I had to pee, like, 3 times during yesterday's stream. Sorry, that was a tangent. But I was like, well, that's not possible because it cannot possibly be dehydrated because I drink so much water. And so also I'm just going to check in real quick and ask if the like music microphone balance is okay. Cuz I kind of tweaked it a little bit before I started, and I don't know why I did that. So if we could just get like a little smiley face in chat or something, or a pog champ if you will. Mic could be louder. How's this, Ozzy? I'm afraid of it being too loud. Thanks, Julia. Mic could be louder. How about now? Testing. Yee. Okay, cool. So we were like, well, there's no possible way it's dehydration. Like, that's ridiculous. So we kind of gave it a day, and the next day I was still feeling really sick. So we were like, well, we should probably just go to the hospital just to see, like, maybe they can test, like, what's going on. So we go to the hospital. And also, what had been happening that day was I couldn't feel one side of my face. What I mean by that is, like, I could tell that I was, like, touching my face, but, like, it was almost as if, like, I could feel it, like, I knew I was touching my face, but, like, my face didn't seem, like, it felt like there was a wall between my hand and the nerves of my face being able to tell that it was being touched. And I was really confused. Like, I literally said, like, Mom, like, I know my eyebrow is here, but, like, I can't, like, feel it. Like, I don't really know what's going on. And that's, I think, what the kind of straw of, okay, well, we need to go to the hospital and figure out what's going on was. So we went to the local urgent care, and we're like, hey, besties, what's going on? And they were like, well, we don't really know. And I was like, okay, cool. And I went through, like, all these different, like, tests. Like, and I don't mean, like, tests. I mean, like, checkup stuff, like reflexes and balance and all that. And my balance was really bad. Even though I was extremely coordinated, I had to be because I was literally a lacrosse player. But so they were like, I have no clue what's going on. Like, we don't really know what's happening. Like, it might just be, like, a stomach bug. I don't really know. Like, you've kind of stumped us. We don't really know what's going on. And at the last minute, they were about to send me home because they didn't really know what was going on. At the last minute, the doctor who was seeing me, his resident, I think is the word. It's kind of whatever his his supervisor, basically, like, the doctor who's a step above him that like oversees what he does. She was like, well, did you order a CAT scan? And he was like, no, like, should I? Like, I didn't really think of that. And she was like, yeah, just do a CAT scan just in case. So I did the CAT scan. Being completely flat, strapped up in a machine, I threw up in the machine, which was not Pog, let me just tell you. So they took me out, tried it again. I didn't throw up that time. So I did the CAT scan, and it takes time for it to like process. CAT scans, if you don't know, you're basically in a flat bed, like a little flat hospital bed, but it's not really a bed, it's more like a unit. Hold on, I wonder if I can pull up a picture. If you've ever had an MRI, it's like that, but it's way more it's MRIs are more intense. I'm gonna pull up an MRI too. They look like almost the same, but they're not. It's more so like the imaging of what's going on. Let me pull up this. This is just not gonna go with the scene, but you know what? That's fine. It's also called a CT scan, if you've ever heard of that. Hold on. There we go. Oh, no, that's not where we go. Why does it always do that to me? Hold on. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. So this is what it looks like. Basically, I was sitting on this little freaking tray. My head was in there. I was like strapped in. It's very scary and traumatizing. And I like threw up in the machine, and then they like took me out, and they were like, well, we have to get this image. We have to make sure like there's nothing going on in the brain. So I was able to, I think at that point they actually had given me medicine to calm the nausea, because I was just extremely nauseous. It was horrible. Nausea is like one of the worst symptoms to have of like any like disease or anything, just in my own experience. But so they got the scan done, and I went back to my little room that I was like put in, which was just like the like urgent care, like you get a little room so you can like have your stuff there and have your parents there and whatever, because this was at the children's hospital. And they're like, all right, like we're just gonna have you sit in here until we get the images back. That's just like a precaution. We don't think anything's gonna happen from that, but we just want to be safe. So my mom and I were sitting in the room, and we were just we weren't really talking. And I don't really remember a whole lot. Especially because this was in 2016. But next thing I know, they walk into my room with a 4-foot long giraffe stuffed animal. In fact, I wonder if I can find a picture of it. It was like huge. And it's like one of those things. Oh my god, I literally found it. I literally found the exact same one. Oh my gosh. Let me just delete that. Womp, 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 womp. Hold on. I really need to get faster at this. I can't believe I found it. That's so funny. This is literally what they walked into my room with. And like, you know, I was 13, like I was young, but like there's no way, like you just know. Like you at that point you just know. They're not bringing in a giraffe because they felt so bad they put you through all this. It wasn't because I threw up. Like that giraffe was a freaking omen. An omen. Wait. This will be cool. An omen. They say that they were looking in the scans and at first they didn't find anything, and then they found this little pocket, this little dark spot of shadowing by my brainstem. And what they thought that it was something called a cavernous malformation. And they explained it as a berry-sized bundle of blood vessels that had formed abnormally when I was born that was bleeding in my brain. They basically explained to me, I think, because I don't really remember, that cavernomas do two things. They bleed. Well, I'm saying cavernomas that hemorrhage. They bleed, and then they bleed a second time. The first time is usually what triggers symptoms, which is why a lot of people don't know that they have a cavernoma, because usually they never get to that point. They never bleed. Mine bled. And the basic storyline, or too long didn't read, was if it bled again, I would probably die. So I was admitted to inpatient and put in the hospital and assigned... Oh, I was actually in the ICU. I was in the NICU. I was literally with the babies. I don't really remember that, but I was literally in like some section of the ICU that was like with all the NICU things. 'Cause like I was in intensive care. Like super intensive. I was so sick that every time I went to sleep, my heart rate would drop below 40, which meant every single time I slept, the alarm would go off, and I couldn't really sleep. I was put in a room without a window, so I didn't know what time it was. All I knew was that I felt horrible. And I'm not talking emotionally, because I was so emotionally stunted with everything. I don't even remember feeling anything. I was just so shocked and confused, and I didn't really understand. I mean, I understood what was happening for sure, but I didn't really know what anything meant. I didn't really understand what a cavernoma was. I just knew there was something in my brain that wasn't supposed to be there that was about to kill me. The story gets fuzzy here, but basically I spent some time in the hospital. I was in the ICU, and then I think they did some more scans to get a clearer image, and I remember it was just more throwing up. And then I remember the throwing up and nausea and everything got worse. And it got to a point where I couldn't move my head. I couldn't move my body or my head whatsoever without just throwing up. Every time I went to the bathroom, it was, okay, let me go to the bathroom and then let me throw up. Every single time I moved my head, every single time I talked, anything, I would just... that. It was horrible, and I would just cry and cry. And it wasn't like my youngest child crying. It was just utter despair, and I remember literally sobbing over like the bucket and telling my mom, like, I hate this so much. I hate this so much. So eventually there was a lot of struggle to find medication that worked for my nausea. Eventually I was prescribed on this specific one, and it was working, and pretty much eased the nausea. And again, it's very fuzzy, so that's why I'm like pausing and things, 'cause I'm thinking. I met these two neurosurgeons who basically said, hey, we're probably gonna be the ones that do your surgery. This is what we plan to do. But they were more so talking to my mom because I was 13 years old. And my mom was like, that's great. Don't really like them though. Let's get a second opinion and figure out what's going on. So my mom did all this research and found this neurosurgeon at a very popular hospital that I'm not going to say because I'm not doxing myself today. And she had scheduled to meet with, I think, 2 or 3 neurosurgeons, but after we met with this one, we knew she was right for us. So we met with her, and immediately we all hit it off. I mean, hitting it off as much as a doctor and a potential surgery patient could hit it off. And I remember being just so exhausted and so out of it and so done with everything that I was just sat there. And I literally told my mom, like, if you think she's good, then I don't care. I just want this to be done. Like, I just want to get through this. I just want it to be over. But I really liked her. She had a great bedside manner. My other surgeons did not. So we basically at that point scheduled when to have the surgery. And it was basically we have to do this as soon as possible, because if we waste any time, we could risk a second bleed. And it was pretty much explained to me that a second bleed would be fatal. I finally got to a point where I could go outpatient. And I was just bedridden at home. I wasn't allowed to go up the stairs unattended. I wasn't allowed to walk around unattended. I wasn't allowed to do anything but lay on the couch and watch TV all day, which was pretty great, because I'm not going to lie to you, I was in my anime phase and I got through the entirety of the original Naruto series, which I think is a flex because there's like 500 episodes. How many episodes are in Naruto? Holy shit, never mind. There's only 220. That's not a flex at all. I didn't watch Shippuden. Sorry. Why did I think it had 500? That's embarrassing. Anyway. Listen, I was 13 and I wasn't good at math. I'm just kidding. Listen, I was literally had cavernoma in my brain. I couldn't do math. I probably saw 200 and flipped the 2. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. I was bedridden, and then I was pretty much actually, how quick was the turnaround? Let me do some quick math. Hold on. I wish this would go faster. Uno momento. I was diagnosed March 24th of 2016, or the 23rd, one of the two. And I had my surgery April 15th, 2016, which was 1, 2, 3 weeks after I was diagnosed. So quick turnaround. My surgery was at 4:30 in the morning. And I basically didn't sleep that night because I was kind of told that it would be easier to go under if I was exhausted. So I just didn't sleep that night. I think I slept for like literally an hour or two. And I literally mean 1 or 2 hours. I woke up, got dressed. Yeah, not really. And went to the hospital. And I went in. They were like, okay, change into this hospital gown. I was like, okay. And I remember the anesthesiologist, I don't know how to say that. Anesthesiologist. I think if I just gloss over it, then you won't be able to tell that I'm not pronouncing it right. The anesthesiologist, nope. Hold on. Hold on. There better not be an ad. Oh, thank God.
Anesthesiologist.
Oh my God, I literally had it. Anyway. The anesthesiologist was super nice. And he basically explained to me what was going to happen. I'm going to update the content warnings again. I'm probably not going to talk about that anymore. Actually, I'm just going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to talk a little bit about IVs and needles. But literally for 5 seconds, because they're literally a trigger for me anyway, so I don't really want to linger on them. But he came in and talked to me, and he was like, what's the biggest thing worrying you right now? And I forgot to mention something really important. When I was still inpatient, so when I was still staying in the hospital, there was one point where my IV was really, really hurting. This was before I found my new surgeon. My IV, so I had an IV because I couldn't eat and I couldn't drink water. So I had to have an IV pumping like nutrients and water into my system basically, and also medications. And then it would be like flushed with saline. Ugh, so gross. And one day it was really hurting, which wasn't normal, and I told the nurse like, hey, it's like really hurting, and she was like, oh no, that's normal, like it's just like because of the medication, like it's fine. And I was like, okay. Then this next shift nurse came in like maybe an hour or so later, and I was like, hey, my IV is really hurting. And she's like, no, that's normal. And I was like, okay, maybe they're right. I woke up the next day. For those of you who don't know, I have noodle arms. I have no arm muscles. I have noodly arms. I have skinny arms. My arm was 37 centimeters round when I woke up, and I couldn't move it, and I couldn't really feel it. So that was understandably upsetting. They called the nurses, and they're like, what the hell? And the nurses find out that the IV, this is really gross, just a warning, the IV it had dislodged and was pumping medication to the wrong place. Let's just say that and move forward. And the nurse practitioner came in, and she was like, well, we need to get the plastic surgeons. We need to get plastics up here ASAP because she might lose her arm. And for context, this was my right arm, which means this was my dominant hand. And this woman was telling a 13-year-old girl who already had a brain tumor that she was about to lose her arm. So I understandably freaked out. But internally, like, I just kind of stood there and I was like, or like I laid there and I was like, huh? And my mom was like, you don't ever speak to my 13-year-old daughter like that again. And then later on, that lady actually got fired. So, like, what comes around goes around. Good news. I didn't lose my arm. They took out the IV and I was fine. However, sorry, I just got distracted. However, I do have semi-impermanent damage on that arm. It's really, 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 really difficult to get a IV in my arm because the affected blood vessels, we'll say, are very small. Let's just say that. We're gonna keep it super vague and probably not using the right terms because I'm just trying to keep it, like, safe. Anyway, moving forward. So I had that a traumatic experience. So, flash forward, it's the day of the surgery, and the guy's like, okay, what is your number one anxiety right now? And, like, you know, like, you'd think I would be like, you know, the fact that I have a 1 in 4 chance of dying. Oh yeah, by the way, the surgery, I had a 25% chance of death in the surgery. But never tell me the odds. Anyway, well, actually tell me the odds because this is a medical procedure. Anyway, sorry. I'm tangenting. So he comes in and he's like, okay, what happened? Or like, what? Oh my god, sorry, I'm just like totally all over the place in my brain. He's like, what's like the main thing bothering you? And I said, the IV. And he's like, well, we can do it after you are out, so you won't even like feel it or know about it or anything. Which was super pog champ of him. And that eased a lot of the anxiety. I don't really want to talk about what it felt to go under, because I feel like that would be pretty triggering. Or just like uncomfortable. Like, I feel like that's kind of crossing a line, I guess. But if you're curious, I guess, like, DM me or let me know, because I don't mind talking about it, but I just don't think it's worth talking about on stream. But basically, I did the surgery. It was 10 hours of just straight surgery. And when I woke up, they told me when I woke up, I might have a breathing tube. Basically, I kind of forgot to say this earlier. This is like major context that I really should have said. My cavernoma was located in the brainstem, which, if you don't know anything about neuroscience and brain anatomy, the brainstem is one of the most important freaking parts because it controls breathing and swallowing and nausea and coordination and balance and the ability to breathe. Did I mention breathing? So they said, hey, by the way, when you wake up, you might have a breathing tube. Good news, I didn't, but the first thing I did was check. I still remember waking up. And I still remember being out, which is kind of weird because you can't really remember it, but I do. It's complicated. I woke up, threw up. I had a bandage around my head. Kind of wild. But the surgery was a success. They had, basically what they did was they took out the cavernoma. So the little pocket berry of blood vessels, they just took it out and were like, snip, snip, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bad blood. And it was a success. However, once it was done, my brain swelled. It didn't like that because it's very youngest childy and particular about its belongings. It got angy and swelled, and severed 3 of my cranial nerves, which, if you don't know, are nerves that control your face. So I actually have nerve damage on the right side of my face. It's pretty much almost completely regenerated now. So if you know me in real life or you've video called with me, like you might not notice it. You might, especially if you knew me 4 to 5 years ago. It's gotten a lot better. But basically, in certain sections of my face, it used to be I had absolutely no feeling on this right side of my face, and I couldn't move it whatsoever. And when I mean whatsoever, I literally mean whatsoever. Like as if somebody had drawn a line down my face, and one side was frozen and one side was completely fine and movable. So like, for example, my right eye doesn't blink because the nerve is not completely regenerated there. But my mouth works pretty much fine. Symmetry is a major insecurity of mine nowadays. But it's fine. We live and we learn and whatever. But besides that, the surgery was a major success. I'm obviously still alive, so clearly they did something right. And I was in the hospital for a little bit, and then I was transferred to the hospital by my house, and then I did rehab there for occupational and physical therapy. And while I was there, that's when I discovered music theater, which is why I do theater now. At one point when I was at the doctor, so obviously they have this issue because my right eye is not blinking, which is not good because blinking is how your eye stays normal. I don't think people realize how much blinking plays a role in their eye safety, but it really does. Even just 5 minutes of not blinking is so horrible, let alone days, hours, weeks, months, years. So they didn't really know what to do, but I needed a treatment plan. So they took me to this doctor at the hospital near my house. This is the same hospital that nearly cost me my arm, might I add. I'm not bitter. A little. I deserve to be. And I go to this doctor, and he does a little evaluation and looks me in the eyes and basically says, well, he didn't basically say, he looks me in the eyes and goes, "You're damaged and your eye is broken and I can't fix it and there's nothing you can do and you're damaged." And my mom started crying, and I would text her. I was like, "It's okay. I'm not damaged. He's just saying that." Really not something you tell a 13-year-old, but I digress. Then I met someone, then we were like, okay, well, maybe not him. So the hospital was like, how about this guy? And he basically told me I would have to sew my eye shut. So we didn't really vibe with him either. Finally, my mom went crying to my surgeon and her physician's her PA, and was like, "I don't know what to do. We need an eye doctor." And they were like, "We got you." They found me a neuro-ophthalmologist, which is an eye doctor that specializes in neurosurgery related things. Basically is the layman's terms as I understand it. And literally, sweetheart, I love her so much. She's literally one of my favorite people. She's so sweet. Basically, we came up with a treatment plan of, okay, I'll do eye drops every hour and I'll tape my eye shut. And it's not what it sounds like. It's kind of like medical tape. And then I would put an eye patch on it at night. So for those of you who knew me in like anywhere from 7th grade to like junior year, I would always say like snatch my patch or like patch it up, or like you might see me with an eye patch and like my Snapchats and stuff. That's why. And I had a lot of people that would forget and be like, oh my god, what happened to your eye? And I'd have to explain each time. Eventually I upgraded to sleep goggles, and then those broke and I got a sleeping mask. So we're moving up in the world. We're fine now, basically. I don't know why that's playing. But yeah, so I don't really know what else is there to say. So I met with this doctor and we came up with a treatment plan. And I pretty much, after that, I pretty much went back to school as soon as I could. And I think in total I was only out of school for 31 days. Or 32 or something. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna. So I think that's really the end of like the main. I don't know what's happening, but I'm here. Hi, Ren. Too long didn't read. June is Angioma Awareness Month. Angioma is a specific kind of brain tumor, which is non-cancerous. It's basically when you're born, 1 in 500 people are born with it. And basically what happens is when they're born, their blood vessels in their brain form abnormally. And sometimes those blood vessels bleed. And those people have problems from that hemorrhage. And I am one of those people. So I just you have really good timing. I just finished my story of everything. So yeah, oof is right. Yeah, so thanks. So from there, like, we basically said, okay, like, let's set up, I did rehab, which was, yeah, the lag is really good today. There's, like, no lag, pretty much. Besides when I just, like, pause and buffer. So I did occupational and physical therapy, and then I was eventually released. But when I met with my new doctor, like my new eye doctor, she basically told me I was no longer allowed to do any type of sport that involved contact or balls or like any like flying objects, basically. So lacrosse was out of the table, soccer was out of the table. Everything I wanted to do was off the table. I couldn't swim because I'd have to wear goggles and risk putting my eye underwater. I couldn't go skiing because if I hit my eye or anything, I could lose my eyesight. And it was like this huge freaking thing. And technically, I'm not cleared for a lot of things. Like, I'm cleared to swim, but I'm still not cleared for sports. I don't even know if I'm allowed to ski. I think I've skied since then. I definitely have, but I wasn't cleared for it. I just did it. They said, hey, just don't do anything. Well, when they say that and it's a matter of losing your eyesight, you kind of have to listen. So I listened. It's also why I just don't do sports. I'm just not allowed to. And a lot of people don't know that. And they just kind of assume that I'm just like just not interested. And no, I miss lacrosse all the time, but I just am not allowed to do it. So I think from there, it just became a matter of, all right, this is something I have to work on. I returned to school, and I want to say life went back to normal, but it didn't. My 8th grade year, I came back. Well, I finished my 7th grade year. And in 8th grade, I had a bunch of new teachers that didn't know what happened. And one of them found out and came to me and was like, hey, I heard about this. Like, what kind of accommodations would you need? What can I do? How can I help? And she was so sweet about it. And I think she had someone who had brain surgery that, like, kind of, she understood. And she said, like, if you want to use a textbook instead of your iPad, like, that's totally fine. I get how, like, bright lights and blue light and all that stuff can, like, give you headaches. And I'll get into a little bit of my everyday life after I finish the story. But she was really sweet about it. And then on the opposite coin, I had an English and reading teacher. So she taught 2 classes, and it's middle school, so you had to take both. You didn't really choose your schedule at all. So I literally had her first period and last period every single day, which was horrible. So when I first started going back to school, they suggested I do half days because in the morning I'd be really, really nauseous, so I didn't really want to eat anything. But then by the end of the day, I would just be exhausted. Because one of the things that they don't tell you about brain surgery is once you have it, you kind of indirectly gain, like, almost like sensory issues where everything is heightened. So noises are heightened, visuals are heightened, like bright lights are very, like, overstimulating, and noises can be extremely overwhelming, especially if it's a whole group of people talking. So overstimulation is something I'm very used to at this point, because ever since then my sensitivity to things is extremely heightened. So I would just be exhausted by the end of the day, especially because I quite frankly, I was pushing myself. I should not have gone to full school days, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm not letting this screw up my life anymore. I'm doing this. Like, I don't care. I'm taking back my life. I think I mostly did it because I needed to feel control over something. Wow, I'm like my own therapist. Anyway. Yeah, get him. Hey, get him. I feel like I need to do a Minecraft stream because I feel like I'm loading you guys with a lot of heavy shit. I didn't think this stream would take so long, I'm not gonna lie. So my one teacher was really nice and accommodating, and then I had this other teacher who was an English teacher and a reading teacher. So I had her for English in the morning, first period at 8 a.m., and then I had her for reading at the end of the day, which was like 2 p.m. or something. Maybe like 3 p.m., like 2:30 or something. I don't remember. And of no fault to her, mornings and like the first and last period were the hardest for me, because the morning I was extremely nauseous, and by the end of the day I was exhausted. I'm gonna take out this content warning because I'm not gonna talk about those things anymore. There you go. I was very exhausted, and with exhaustion comes headaches and nausea and just not having enough energy to do anything. And so I would do the only thing I could do, which was raise my hand and ask if I could go to the nurse to, just get a Tylenol and just take a break and just, relax. Oh, Nick, for you, that's a paracetamol. Or what did you call it? What's the Australian Tylenol? Hold on. I don't remember what it's called. Acetaminophen. That's like what it's called, but that's not what the brand is called. You just call it paracetamol. Panadol? I think that's what you called it. Upside down and all. Anyway, it's not important. I think you called it Panadol, but it doesn't really matter. But basically, that was like the one way I could just like catch a 5-minute break. And when I say 5 minutes, I literally mean, I would ask to leave. I would go straight to the nurse. I would sign in. I would take a Tylenol. I would sign out, and I'd go straight back to class. And I'd literally be gone for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And I'd like check in with her, and like I'd say like, hey, like I just really have a headache. I just really need like a Tylenol, or I just like need a break from my classroom or whatever. Well, 8th grade year, for the first time in my entire life, I took 1 extra day of spring break because I was out of town. And before I left, the day before spring break, I knew that I would have a Socratic seminar, which is like a presentation in class, like with like it's like the whole class is in a circle, and then you have to like present something and like argue, and it's really annoying and really stressful. We would have one. So it was really weird how our spring break worked. We would come back Wednesday. No, I think we came back Thursday. So my teacher was like, okay, the Thursday and Friday we come back, we're going to have Socratic seminars. But I had mock trial on Thursday. No. Backtrack. We came back on a Wednesday. And I missed the Wednesday because I was out of state. I do remember it because it was very traumatic. We came back on a Wednesday, and I missed the Wednesday because I was out of state. Because I was literally celebrating the fact that I had lived a year since my surgery. Because it was literally like April. So it was a full year since my surgery. So we were literally celebrating. Because we call it a brainiversary. It's kind of like a second birthday. It was really cool. I actually got to see Hamilton in Chicago. Anyway, I met Wayne Brady, no biggie. We came back on a Wednesday, which is the day I missed. And then my teacher was like, Thursday and Friday, we're having a Socratic seminar. But the thing is, I would have to go on Friday because Thursday I had a mock trial competition. And so the day before spring break, I went to her and I was like, hey, I'm going to miss Wednesday and Thursday. I would like to be proactive and know what the prompt is for the Socratic seminar so I can get it done while I'm on vacation. And she said, no. So I went on vacation not knowing the prompt of the Socratic seminar. And I came back not knowing the prompt of the Socratic seminar. So Friday rolls around, and this is the first day I've been back since vacation and mock trial. And she goes, okay, we're having the Socratic seminar. What material do you have? And she basically interrogated me in front of the entire class and screamed at me because I told her, hey, I didn't prepare anything because I literally asked you for the prompt and you didn't give it to me, so I don't even know what the Socratic seminar is. Like, I don't even know what it's about. You didn't post it online. You didn't post it anywhere. You didn't send it anywhere. I literally would have no way of knowing what the prompt is, so I didn't prepare anything because I didn't even know what I could prepare because I don't even know what it's about. But I didn't, say it like that. I was just like, I don't have anything prepared because I literally asked you for the prompt. I basically, did it in, a polite way of saying, you didn't tell me shit, so how was I supposed to prepare anything? But, I was, polite and, I was very timid as a middle schooler, so I know I wasn't hey, what, I wasn't, starting a fight. I was literally just, I didn't know what else to do. And she starts yelling at me and like screaming at me in front of everyone. And I literally broke into freaking tears. And 2 different class periods saw me crying because she literally kept me over the bell and like made me literally cry. And like all of my friends saw, all of my classmates saw. Oh, I know. Oh, but this story gets better. Don't worry. It gets so much better. So I like literally started crying and she's like, you know what? Why don't you just, here's the prompt. Just write me 1 page front and back for each prompt. And there were like 3 prompts or something. So this bitch wanted me to write 6 pages by next period. And periods were like 30 minutes. I was like, so I broke further into tears. I start sobbing. I go to my science class and my teacher, who I adore, who, by the way, this science teacher who I had, and she taught 7th and 8th grade. I had her 7th grade, and I took a test and absolutely bombed it. This was the week that I got sick. This was literally, like the day before I got diagnosed. I took a test and bombed it, which wasn't like me. Like, I literally missed everything on it pretty much. And she literally emailed my mom and was like, this is not like Eva. Like, is she okay? And this teacher literally predicted everything because she was like, this is not right. Like, there's something going on. Like, I don't know if, like, Eva was just sick. I don't know if she was just having a bad day. But, like, she's never done poorly on a quiz. Like, I don't really know what was happening. Like, this teacher was like, what is going on with Eva? So that teacher is the one, that teacher is the one that saw me in the next period when I was really sobbing my eyes out. And I was like, this teacher said that she's gonna fail me and I have to write a 6-page essay, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, it's okay. Like, just take the period, just write what you can, and just whatever you can do, just turn it into her and it will be fine. And what I didn't understand was, 1, how do you expect a student who, admittedly, I was not at my 100%. I was literally, a year seems like a long time. It is not in brain surgery terms, okay? It's literally been 5 years. 5? 6? I don't know. It's been, I don't know, 5 to 6 years. And I still have symptoms from my surgery every single day. Every single day. So a year was nothing. Like, I was still recovering and I was still in recovery, and my teachers were all like, or my doctors were all like, we don't really know why you're doing full-time school, but like, okay, pop off, I guess, if you want. So this teacher was expecting a student who had brain surgery and was still really in recovery to write a 6-page essay. But what I don't understand was when she thought I was going to do it, because I had other classes. Like, I was lucky that my science teacher let me, like, skip the period, but, like, what did she expect me to do? So I wrote what I could while I was sobbing my eyes out. And then I went to class, and all my teachers felt horrible, and they were just like, okay, just take it easy today, like, it's fine. And I gave her what I wrote, and I don't really remember, like, what she did. But I basically told my mom what had happened, and my mom was like, well, like, that's messed up, first of all, especially because you literally asked her for the prompt and she refused to give it to you, and now she's punishing you because you didn't have it, and, like, all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, like, I just don't think she really likes me very much. And my mom was like, what do you mean? Well, here's the thing. There's this writing competition that my state does, that I'm not going to name, because it would dox me. And I was on the team, and I am a writer, okay? I am literally a writer. I'm not gonna be like, oh, like, I'm an amazing writer. I know I'm pretty good, and I know that objectively speaking because I've been told that. It's not me being whatever. I know objectively I'm a good writer, and I've been told that, and I've always done really well in English class, and I literally want to do writing in some variety. But she refused to give me any validation, any positive feedback ever. She always vehemently? I don't know. She always refused to give me any positive feedback or validation or approval or anything. Vehemently? Is it vehemently or vehemently? I'm gonna look it up. Something you should all know about me is I'm great at spelling, not at pronouncing.
Vehemently.
Vehemently? What the hell? That's weird. Anyway. I just know spelling. Exactly. I'm the exact same way. I never have to say anything out loud. Vehemently? I don't like that. I'm just gonna say, what was I? What was I talking about? What the hell? Literally, what was I talking about? Why did I have to? Oh, writing competition. I would write this creative stuff and she would just like not receive, like she was just not receptive. And she was like obsessed with this other girl's writing and was like always like, she's so great and she's awesome and look at all this stuff she does and blah, 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 just like obsessed with this one writer. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I was jealous because like, there was no one else to give me approval and validation in the field of writing. There's no one but your English teacher. So when your English teacher is giving all of their attention to somebody else who's already getting attention, then it's like, okay, what the hell? Like, what am I, chopped liver? Like, as a student, you want, I mean, at least me, I wanted that approval of knowing I was good because, and not in a sense of like, oh, I want everyone to tell me how good I am. No, like, I thrive on feedback. Like, if somebody tells me, hey, like, this isn't really the move, then I know. Like, I don't like the feeling of, I think it's good, but how do other people think? Like, I don't like not knowing. Like, I'd rather people just say, hey, this was really good, or hey, like, this is not bad, or not good or not bad, whatever. So she would just give me nothing. And so, like, she had given me a problem all year. So I told my mom all about that. And then she's like, well, like, does she say anything about, like, your, like, surgery? And then I was like, I remembered. She, every single time, so at the beginning of the year, she was, like, normal. She was fine. She was cool. Then, increasingly, as the year went on, she would start giving me shit when I asked her to go to the nurse. And what would happen was, I would wait till she was done with her, like, lecture, like, her, like, notes or whatever. If I could wait, but sometimes I couldn't. And I'd literally just raise my hand and say, can I go to the nurse? And at the beginning of the year, she would just be like, yeah, go ahead. And then increasingly, she started going, well, you're going to miss these notes. And this is critical information for the test. And she would just get, like, really nasty about it. And would be like, well, you're gonna miss points if you don't like get this concept down or whatever. Like, she would just like start coming after me, and I'd just be like, I really have a headache. Like, I literally am a year out from brain surgery. It's fine. So she would just start giving me shit. So I told my mom about that, and my mom was like, whoa. So she literally never gives you feedback on your writing, and she gives you shit when you try to go to the nurse, even though you're only gone for 5 minutes. And then she made you cry in front of everyone. Well, that's not okay. So my mom, being the mom she is, literally emailed every single 8th grade teacher and was like, this is the behavior that's happening, and I want a meeting with everyone so we can talk about this. This teacher also did 0 accommodations for me, by the way. And by accommodations, I mean every single one of my other teachers was like, oh, Nick, get on that, please. Ban. Actually, I can just ban them. Can I? No, it won't let me. I have to pull it up. Nicholas, nobody click the link. Nobody get a virus today, okay? pull up stream. My mom just starts yelling at him. Yeah, so basically my mom was yelling at them without raising her tone. Hold on. There we go. That was definitely me. Yay, go Nick. Nick didn't do shit. Love you, Nick, but like... Oh my god, not the stream playing. Okay. He ain't even here. Yeah, what the hell? Where's my moderator? No, he's here. It says he's here. I don't know if he's actually here, but he's not saying shit. I should have banned them. Oops. Nick, do you want to ban them for me? He's here in spirit. Yeah. Anyway. So my mom was like, okay, well, this is messed up. What the hell? So wait, what was... Okay. Roasted. Hey. Roasted and toasted. Anyway, so my mom was like, well, this is messed up. So she emailed like all the teachers and none of them replied. And finally the principal at the time, who was worth nothing. I'm like thinking about like what I'm saying. She was just like not the best principal. And that's my ending stream music. I don't know why that's playing. She basically agrees to this meeting, and it's me, my mom, and her. And she's like, well, like, tell me, like, what the situation is. And so I tell her all the mean shit that this teacher did to me. And her, like, first excuse was the teacher didn't know about, like, my surgery and everything. And then I thought about it. First of all, my other teachers, besides my one science teacher, didn't know me at the time of my surgery. Like, they didn't know any of the situation. But they went to me and said, what can we do to help you? So the teacher I mentioned earlier literally came to me and she said, what can I do to accommodate for you? Like, having a textbook instead of an iPad screen, like turning the lights down instead of like having bright fluorescent lights. She did everything she could to make sure I was comfortable and, you know, in an environment where I could properly learn. And all of my other teachers did something. Yeah, we had iPads in middle school and in high school. They were horrible. They were literally trash. They were literally like iPad 1s or something. But this was like 2016. No, we had our own cases. Yeah, ours were shit too. It's fine. Like they were literally trash. Like they didn't do anything. They like didn't have anything on it but like Safari and like a bunch of education apps. Like not even iMessage. Like it was so bad. High school was fine because we like it was like literally our own iPad. But this principal was like, well, this teacher like didn't know about like Eva's situation with her surgery and everything. And I was like, well, first quarter, which was like the first month of school. Are you freaking leapfrog? Oh my god. Fuck. I remember leapfrog. That's so wild. She was like, well, I was like, well, that can't be true because literally like the first month of school, we had a personal narrative assignment and I wrote about my surgery. And literally this was like the only writing feedback I got from her, where she was just like, wow, that was like an amazing essay. And basically the essay was me literally writing my entire experience with it. So like literally from when I was diagnosed to where I was at that point. And she was like, wow, like this is amazing and like that's such a great story, thank you for sharing. So she knew my story and she knew why I was going to the nurse. And so when that excuse didn't work, because I said, well, she knew all about my situation, and also my other teachers didn't, and they still accommodated me, so like that's a little bit weird, champ. Her second excuse was, well, she's concerned because Eva goes to the nurse a lot. And so I said, no, let me pull up receipts. Well, the thing is, the nurse keeps a log of every single time someone enters and leaves. You had to literally sign in and sign out every single time. And I did it every single time. And I counted how many times I had gone to the nurse that year, and it was 17. If that seems like a lot, let me tell you, that is twice a month, which I think for someone recovering from brain surgery is really freaking cool. Twice a month. Twice a month. That's not a lot. And then you could see, like, literally it would say, like, 8:05, 8:10, like, that would literally be 5 or less minutes. And so my mom was like, well, like, so my mom, like, brings this, like, literally brings up the receipts. And the principal goes, yes, I have the log here. And, actually, now that you mention it, yeah, like, I can tell that she's only been there for 5 minutes. My mom's like, yeah, so that lead's done. And then the third and final freaking excuse that this principal uses is, well, she has news. My freaking principal, hashtag not my principal, tried to use the excuse of my teacher being pregnant as an excuse to be mean to me. To literally bully a 13-year-old for having brain surgery. Pregnancy was an excuse. What? I'm being really loud when I think about it. Sorry, fam. So I was like, what the hell? And my mom was like, I don't give a shit if she has news. She's being a bitch to my daughter. Oh, Ren, you're in for a treat. It gets so much better. You think this is it? No, it gets better. I love how this is not even angioma awareness month. This is literally this is still related, I promise. Well, like I'm explaining my experiences with it. You should be invested. This gets so freaking good. And so my mom's like, okay, well, this is dumb. I hate this school. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I don't think I ever got anything. I don't even know if that teacher ever freaking apologized to me. We basically left the meeting, and it was like total BS, and it was a waste of my time. And the teacher like backed off from me for the most part, but I don't remember if she ever apologized or anything. And I was just so glad when I graduated middle school, because I was just done. But I still liked, so my middle school was it was a Catholic school, and it was like part of a parish, and they had this thing called Vocation Bible School, or no, Vacation Bible School, which is basically like a little camp for like Catholic kids and all this stuff. Which like at the time I was just like, okay, it's 15 service hours, sure. So I did it, and what I had to do was I had to get a form from the school building in order to apply to volunteer. So at that point it had been a summer since I graduated, I think. No. That was my sophomore year. So it had been a year since I had been there, like at the school, and seen everyone. So I like went to the classrooms and like started visiting my old teachers, and it was literally like their last day of school, or like the day before, like the day after their last day of school, when everyone was like just cleaning and stuff. So I was like actually able to like go in the classrooms and like talk to my old teachers and like catch up with them and whatever. And I'm talking to my old math teacher, or like it was like the math assistant something. She like helped me with math a lot, because my teacher wasn't very good at explaining things. I was talking to her, and at that, now it was like she was an actual full-blown teacher, which was like great for her, and I was just like catching up with her. And I'm like thinking like I can get away without talking to that English teacher, the one from the story. Lo and freaking behold, she walks into the room. I was pissed. But you know, like when you don't like someone, but you have to act nice to them because of like, I don't know, you just can't start a scene. You can't confront them because you're in public. Well, I had to do that. So I had to act like all like chummy with her. And Nick really is just not present. Anyway. So she like walked in and she's like, "Oh my god, hi," and was like really friendly with me, which was so weird. And she's like, "How are things? Like, how are you recovering?" Like, blah blah blah. I was like, "Screw you." Like, I didn't say that, but I was just like, "Screw you. Like, you never give a shit about me. Like, what the hell?" Well, chat, this is where it gets freaking good. She goes, I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I'm good, like high school's good, whatever." And I'm like clearly like giving her nothing to work with because I don't want to continue this conversation. I'm making that very clear to her. She goes, "It turns out we have a mutual friend." And I said, "Who might that be?" And she gave me the name of my neurosurgeon. And she pronounced it wrong, which pissed me off. Because it's not that hard to pronounce. And I corrected her and I said, "Oh, you mean name?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, my bad." And I was like, "Oh my god, you make my blood boil." And I was like, "How do you know Dr. So-and-so?" Well, the fucking child that she was pregnant with when she was bullying me needed emergency brain surgery when it was born for a freaking cavernoma. Now here's the thing. I would never wish this on anyone, and I would never wish ill will on anyone, and I would never, like, obviously, I would never want someone to have to go through that, either as the patient or as a parent or the doctor or anything. However, I'm not going to shy away from the fact that karma is so real, and what comes around goes around. So all of that hostility and animosity that she put towards me just went right to the freaking baby. It's not funny, I'm just laughing because it's just like, it's so crazy that that happened. And like, obviously, like, that's a horrible thing to have happened, to give birth and have to immediately do that. However, it just goes to show what comes around goes around, always. And I was like, you are freaking kidding. Man, it still blows my mind today. And then I was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow." And then she like walked away. Not really, like we stopped talking, basically. That's really it. That's the story. Basically, I have to look up. Hold on. Five years. The math scared me, okay? Basically, 5 years later, I have headaches every single day. Sometimes I have migraines, but they're not as common. I have nausea almost every single day, and there's nothing I can take for it that doesn't knock me out. So I can't take anything for it. Oh! No, that's habit of me saying that. I take Dramamine now, which is super pog. Not like, it's just as needed. all of my medications used to be like prescribed like daily, and now they're as needed, which is a major improvement. That one's good. Yeah, I freaking I mean, it's medication, it's not fun, but Dramamine nausea is so good. Like, it does the job really, really well. Like they have one specifically for nausea, and it's so effective, and it doesn't knock me out. I don't have to do I used to have to do eye drops every single hour, and I don't anymore. I wasn't really told I couldn't, or like I wasn't really told that I didn't have to. I just kind of stopped doing it, and it worked. So I don't do them anymore. My eye doesn't fully blink, but it mostly does. I am still working on the nerve regeneration. It's a very long process. Basically what happens is, after it first happens, if the nerve isn't completely severed, there's a chance that it will regenerate. And mine wasn't completely severed, so it regenerated, and it went really, really quick at first, and then it basically slows down. Actually, I can't remember what he had, but Mark Ruffalo, who plays Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, had did I miss the part where your eye is not okay? Yes. Basically, after my brain surgery, my brain did some swelling because of the removal of the tumor. And when it swelled, it partially severed 3 of my cranial nerves, which is the nerves that control your face. So the right side of my face was pretty much completely numb and immobile. It just didn't have nerves. It could not move. It could not feel anything. But nowadays, so that mostly translated to my eye couldn't blink, and I couldn't really move my mouth. And I didn't have feeling on that side of my face. But nowadays, I have most of my feeling back, most of my movement back, and my eye mostly blinks. But basically, it regeneration starts out really quick, and then it slows down, like painfully so. So that's basically what happened. Mark Ruffalo actually has cranial nerve damage in the same way I do, but his, I think, is fully recovered. I'm not really sure, but he's further along than I am. And it can take anywhere from, I don't know, forever or a month. I think it took him like 11 months for it to fully regenerate, and mine has taken 5 years and counting. But it's okay, because it gets better every single day, and we look for the positives, such as I am alive today against all odds. But yeah, I feel like that was a lot of information. That was almost a 2-hour stream of just straight talking. But I feel better now that I put this out into the atmosphere and just like shared this part of my life with you guys, because it's not something I get to easily talk about, because it's a very, very heavy topic. It's not something where I can just be like, oh yeah, I had brain surgery. Although, to be fair, I definitely do that, especially with new people. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I had brain surgery. I think it's funny because it kind of freaks people out sometimes. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just part of life, I guess. Not really, but I'm pretty much done talking. We should do Memby. No, I'm just kidding. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot them. Ooh. I just ignore everything. My family never believes me anyway. It's not good. I was fortunate enough to be in a situation where my mom played the safe rather than sorry game. sometimes it's a matter of literally just going to the doctor or forcing. How are you vibing? Just in general or with this topic, Julia? I need some more. I need you to be more specific. I'm vibing pretty well though in general. I'm recovering from my 7-hour stream. I'm mad that I didn't even hit 7 hours. My ma talked over me at the doctor and then he wouldn't believe me either. Yeah, I was in that situation too. I thought I had insomnia when I was 17 and I tried to tell my doctor about it and my mom was just like, she's just a teenager and blah blah blah, and he's just like, oh, okay. And he didn't really look into it, and now that I'm 18 and I can see my doctor by myself, I can actually like have an adult conversation with him about it. So I'd say just if you're, I don't actually remember how old you are. If you're not 18, just wait. It will get better. It will get easier. My mother does the same thing, and I really thought it would never get better, but it did. I'm an adult, don't worry. Oh, well, I'd say be a big adult, and what I did was I literally just scheduled my own doctor's appointment and didn't let her come. And I mean, she's been better about like that kind of stuff. But I literally just said, okay, I'm going to the doctor's, and my mom was like, wait, what? I was like, okay, yeah, bye. And then I gotta talk to him about all the shit I was worried about. Yeah, I've had tons. They've all said, I don't know, that's weird. That's really weird. I mean, you could always Google is not a good option, but depending on what it is, if it's based on something specific like sleeping or I don't know, eating or something, there's always specialists. So I feel like that would be a good first step, depending on like what category it might be a part of. I mean, worst case, you could literally go to urgent care and just be like, hey, besties, I need a CAT scan. Not saying that it's going to be anything like that, but just, it's always an option. Oh. Pog. I hope. Was it Pog? Also, Julia, doctor's useless. Yeah, sometimes they can be pretty iffy. Julia, in general, I'm vibing a lot, actually. Well, I'm very stressed, but I'm vibing, and with my surgery and everything, I'm pretty much vibing. I'm getting there. My life is never going to be the same, both from a symptoms perspective and experience perspective, but in general, I think I've reached a point where that's okay. Yeah. I know what you meant. You're fine. Stream, what should we do? Do we just keep this just chatting? We could do a little Q&A. Also, do you guys like my little microphone visualizer? 'Cause I'm really proud of it. It was such a pain to set up. Literally, I don't think Olga's in chat anymore, but I literally was calling her, and I literally was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to figure it out. I've been mesmerized the whole time. There's different ones. Wait, I want to see the one I was looking at before. Hold on. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see if this works. Where did it go? Oh, right here. This is the one I wanted to use. Let's see if this works. Oh, of course now it works. What the hell? 'Cause this fits my theme more. That's not it. Bonk. I'm heading out because I'm a literal senior citizen. So see you later, dude. Love the stream. Thank you for stopping by, Julia. I hope you sleep well. I'm sorry to hear you're a senior citizen. I'm glad you love the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Julia's walking the plank, everybody. Where? Here we go. Look at this. Isn't it so cool? But it's like upside down, so I had to do like bop, like that. I thought it was cool because it's like blue, so it matches the theme. But then like it doesn't really detect my voice as much, so I don't like it. And then there was also this one, which was just like, okay, I feel like it's too busy. Like, why are there stars? This one's okay, but I just felt like I liked the blank background, and I can't change the background, which I don't really understand. But it's okay. I like the drippy one. What's the drippy one? The other one? This one? This one? Yeah, that one's cool. There's also like there's like wild ones. Hold on. That's not what's happening. Hold on. Where's the one I want? It's like stars. It's really cool. Boom, bonk, 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 bonk. Game over. Oh, I missed that. Oh, here it is. No, not this one, not this one. This isn't it. This is it. Okay. This is cool as hell. Did it open? Yeah. No, it did not. There it goes. This one's pretty cool, but I just don't really get it. Like, it's just kind of weird. Like, oh, we're traveling through space, but we're stopping every 5 seconds to breathe. I don't really like it. Pog. Not that one. This one? This one? No. I have like 50 playlists. I don't remember which one's which. This one. Nope. Okay, I'll just make a new one. Bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk. There we go. Oh, it's upside down. Just looks laggy, to be honest. Yeah. Like, it's not, but it's just like, it just looks like it's not loading. There we go. That's really all I have for you, chat. I'm moving out Thursday. Oh my god, I never even thought about that. That's actually so perfect. I knew so I actually put those there because I collect playing cards. But that works really well. I like that. I don't really have anything else for you. We could just chat. I could go in a VC and see if anybody joins. I'm officially in a VC. Whether somebody will join is up to them. Chill. I'm chill. Do we have any questies? Any questies in chat? Should I play Minecraft? I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't, because God forbid it's just another... No, it's just another long stream. I could never do that to myself. No, no. Ren, no. Ren, please. Please. No. No, I literally have to wake up at like 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. It's not working numbers. I've gone later. I think the latest I've stayed up is 8 a.m. Maybe 8:30 or something. No, because I kind of have to. I'm doing so much tomorrow. I might be seeing a psychic. Bum 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 bum. Nick, are you even in chat? Oh wait, I know how to tell. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. I don't think he is. He would have said it. Nick, God but not forgotten. Oh my gosh. Bump bump. Ren, it's just you and me. No, there's others. There's others. Should we do Q&A? Q&A vibe? Sorry. That's actually a really hard question because I hate those people. Okay, I don't hate those people, but I feel like a really like common answer is like, oh, it changes so much, or like I can't pick. But like I genuinely can't. Like I go through phases, so like right now I love red, but I think that's just 'cause of Tommy in it. I also really love purple, but that's because that's my school's color. I feel like my most common or like most like my average answer, like if I had to like compile every time I said my favorite color, I feel like it would be blue. Like blue is always my go-to. I also like peach. Peach is such an underrated color. Like coral or peach is so good. But blue, but not like cyan, and also not like turquoise. Teal is also very good. Like the muted blue of my stream layout, that's like the kind of blue I like. But I don't like dark blue is okay, but it's just a bit, I don't know. I don't think it's too late to make your hair peach. So, it was actually really cold today, which is really confusing. Because yesterday it was literally like 90 degrees, and today it was like literally 60s. Now it's in the 50s. But it's been sunny all week. No, that's a lie. It was sunny all day today. And yesterday it was literally storming. I did pink instead. No one liked the peach idea. Who cares? Do what you want. Do what makes you happy. It was pouring this morning. Yeah, the storm probably went from me to you. I seek validation. I'll give you validation. No. Okay. Wow. Not a single sellout timer this whole stream. It's a shame. But I'm not doing it. I mean, I'm moving in 2 days, so it doesn't even matter. I'll DM you. Actually, you don't have to. I'll just DM you where I'm staying, and because that's not where I live. That's just where I'm staying for the summer, and you don't have to tell me where you live. But what is your freaking display name? Why can't I find it? It's so you run. I just can't find it. Oh yeah, I live on the East Coast too. I mean, it's kind of obvious because I have a Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time zone, but I won't be specific. Right. I had coffee and now I'm exhausted. I wonder how Nick is doing. I do one 7-hour stream and I forget how to act. I talk for 2 hours straight about the same thing. Oh, Pog. It's kind of far, but that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. What day is it for him? Wednesday? I'm not sure, but whatever. It's his prerogative. Actually, hold on. Let me check something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hurt. Just kidding. Yeah, that's really all I have. Why is my audio visualizer not working? Hello? Hello? Is it working? There it goes. Remember Mies? What, like on the Wii? Or like DS? Yeah, I remember Mies. Why? Also, I was watching the VOD from yesterday and I realized that you could hear my mic. Oh my gosh. That's funny. It's like all, or like mostly Nintendo, so that actually makes sense. What was Ranboo listening to? Oh, he's listening to Bo Burnham. That poor boy. No, so you could hear, when I did the voice changer, you could hear like my input as well as the voice changer output, because I didn't think to fix it, which is a little bit embarrassing. But it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. That's okay. It's like a little exclusive treat for chat. Speaking of, how is everyone doing? Is the whole of chat. We are well. Thank you, Ren. You're the spokesperson of the chat. Should we call it? Should this even go on the VODs channel? I don't know. I might just unlist it. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. I'll probably download it and then think about it. Or just make it unlisted or something. I don't know. We'll see. I just feel like it's like very, I don't know. It's not like my other streams. Excuse me. It's like a podcast, but like, I don't know if that's a good thing. So, whatever. Yeah, I think we're gonna end. Hold on. Let's do a little stall. Okay, wait, no, I got this. No, I don't got this. Is this what I want? No, I want this. No. This is what I want. Okay, sorry. Okay, love you. Sleep well if you sleep. I do plan to sleep soon. Hopefully within the next 30 minutes. Alright, chat. This is the end of the line. Thank you all for coming. I hope that this was really informative for you. If not partially a little bit boring, that's okay. I think the fact that you stayed for any amount of time is really worth commemorating. And that's pretty pog of you. Yeah, so thank you all for coming. If you want like more of this like just chatting vibes, especially with how I'll be out of state and my schedule will be different. If this is like a vibe, let me know and we can look for that more in the future. If you enjoyed this. Or we can keep it more to Minecraft or do a mix of the two. I'm open to suggestions. Also, Discord is coming soon. I've almost finished with it. But yeah, we're really just vibing. Mix yeah, I think that would be good. Maybe a little membing in between. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I'm glad that I was able to do this during June. But yeah, just a little recap. June is Angioma Awareness Month, as well as Pride Month. Shout out to them. So yeah, those are just both things to be aware of as June wraps up, but also keep them in mind as the rest of the year goes on, because June, both awareness months and both awareness months and Pride months should not be confined to one month, in the sense that it's great that we have a month dedicated to it, but we should continue our support and our education and our pursuit of truth, or whatever you want to call it, throughout the year. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for letting me share this part of my life with you. And that's really it. Ren, go to sleep soon, or I'll ban you from my chat. Okay? Cool. Alright, guys. Thank you for coming. We're gonna hit the 15-minute mark. Actually, I'm probably gonna let it fizzle out. Alright. Bye, chat. Good night. Love you guys.